from the Bay Area's local news station. We begin now with breaking news.
The breaking news is at the Golden Gate Bridge. It is blocked and stopped mid-span right now.
We've got the live shot behind us here. Northbound traffic, southbound traffic. Yeah. Well, it looks like southbound traffic now starting to move.
Okay.
Let's get the very latest on this. Raina Harvey in the traffic center. Raina, what do you see?
All right. Well, what we know so far is we do have some police activity happening on the Golden Gate Bridge right now. So as you can see, I'll step out here just so you can see the frame. Northbound side of the Bay Bridge is completely blocked. Now, the southbound side and the northbound side, they were both blocked completely just before we went on air. Now, we can see from the camera lens here that the southbound side is moving. It's a northbound side that it is at a complete standstill. I know my drive time says 109 minutes. Don't factor that in. Just know that you cannot move on the northbound side of the Bay Bridge. Now, we're working with CHP to try to figure out what is currently going on right now. We do know that police are there at the scene and they have shut this down. Now, the last time we've covered something like this, Daria and James, we had a protest going on the bridge. That completely shut things down. We are not confirmed that that's happening right now or if there's somebody on the bridge. But as you can see right now, if the Golden Gate Bridge is your route into work or school this morning, I would advise you not to take this. We don't know how long the northbound side of the bridge is going to be shut down. But as you can see, the southbound side is moving along, a little congested. I'll show you on the map here just how far back the backup is. As you can see along southbound and the northbound side there, pretty congested on both sides. So I would opt for not taking the bridge completely this morning. But as we're working to find out what's going on, not seeing major delays across your other bridges. Again, if you're just waking up, northbound side of the Golden Gate Bridge, you cannot take right now. And Daria and James, I'm not sure how long this is going to be going on for, but we're going to be on top of this and working with CHP to figure out what's going on.
All right. Thank you very much, Raina. So we'll keep an eye on that. John, also keeping an eye on what we're seeing at the top of the screen. The weather on this Valentine's Day, it is changing.
As you look towards the North Bay there, it's very gray, John.
It is very gray up there. At least not too terribly windy on the bridge right now, nor any active rainfall on the bridge itself. So as you're sitting there, hopefully not waiting for too terribly long, weather is cooperating. We are seeing outside in San Jose, skies comparatively clear right now. We are going to be seeing showers this Valentine's Day, generally later in the day. Not to say it hasn't rained yet, though. We've seen a few light, brief sprinkles in the North Bay especially, and down along the coastline. Hasn't really been enough to result in hazardous conditions on roads, though. Rainfall is still several hours to the north. North Bay, you really start to see rainfall picking up late morning, early afternoon for the rest of us. You still could see a couple of sprinkles before then, but still the most rainfall comes into the afternoon. As for what we can expect for temperatures, upper 40s to low 50s. Alameda at 51 right now, San Francisco 52, some 40s in Dublin, as well as over to Redwood City. Later today, low 60s as showers arrive, so just make sure that you're ready to go with those umbrellas as you're getting out there. Back to you.
All right, thanks a lot. 8:02 right now, and today San Jose officials are going to announce a new program. They're trying to combat retail theft.
They are, yeah, and they're giving a little extra help to businesses, tools that they can use to protect themselves. KRON 4's Will Tran live for us in San Jose to explain. Morning, Will.
They're not giving the retailers handcuffs or anything like that. Instead, they're giving them cameras for free with all the hardware so they can mount them inside their place, outside their place, to help the San Jose Police Department as well as the City of San Jose try to stop retail theft, especially in areas that have been hard hit by crime, that they've been pounced on by criminals. So this is a trend that's been ongoing throughout California as far as trying to get ahead of retail theft. Not to mention last week, Governor Gavin Newsom issued more state attorneys to help Alameda County fight crime. As far as San Jose, well, they will go into detail about 2.5 hours from now at a news conference. This actually stretches back before the current mayor. Former Mayor Sam Liccardo, he actually got the ball rolling and he's termed out. So Mayor Matt Mahan, he will be at the news conference and they will talk about what's going on. It will be free of charge to the businesses. They are reaching out to the businesses, asking them, do you want a camera? Do you want to be part of our crime-fighting tools? And they're also asking businesses, you be proactive and reach out to the San Jose Police Department if you want to participate as well. Obviously, they're not hiring more officers. They're not asking you to be an officer, but this is a tool that many people are using, cameras. Back to you.
All right, thanks a lot. We appreciate the update, and we're going to give you an update on the Golden Gate Bridge in a second, but we do know the northbound lanes just started to move.
Starting to move a little bit. All right. Also new this morning, Governor Gavin Newsom's efforts to crack down on crime in the East Bay appear to be working. According to information from the governor's office, CHP officers in Oakland have already made 71 arrests. They've recovered 145 stolen cars, and they've seized 4 guns linked to crimes. Just last week, the governor announced that he was deploying 120 CHP officers into Oakland to help crack down on crime. The governor's office says the people arrested are all suspected of charges ranging from car theft to drug possession to felony gun possession. The CHP will continue to conduct operations in some of the high crime areas there in the East Bay. And don't forget, these operations are all just one part of the governor's plan to fight crime. Last week, he also announced that he was deploying additional state attorneys to Alameda County to help prosecute suspected criminals.
8:05 is the time, and the city of Concord just passed a rent control ordinance. The meeting was heated between landlords and tenants, but this did pass.
It did, yeah. The ordinance limits annual rent increases, and it requires landlords to have just cause before they can evict a tenant.
This doesn't end the debate, though. Crown 4's Sarah Stinson has more.
A rally was held before the Concord City Council meeting Tuesday, with both tenants and landlords shouting about their rights. Every seat was taken at the meeting. People even wore a sticker on their shirts to show which side they're on. On the agenda, rent control for multifamily rental complexes with 2 or more units built before February 1st, 1995. What's being proposed is limiting annual rent increases to 3% or 60% of consumer price index, whichever is lower, as well as just cause for eviction, which could apply to most rented units in Concord, including single-family homes. However, many council members debated that for a while. Just cause would not apply to dwelling units. Just cause does not apply when a tenant is evicted for at-fault reasons like non-payment. If there is no fault but the landlord wants to evict the tenant, this ordinance proposes to require property owners to pay 3 times the fair market rent and an extra $3,000 to cover moving expenses. Both sides say this has been debated for 7 years and they're ready for City Council to make a decision.
City Council really need to see the real situations that all the renters, family and children are suffering with the rent control, the rent increases every year, and it's a really burden. And so what's going to happen is that we're going to end up living on the street.
So this isn't really just about rental rights, it's about property owner rights. And that's what strikes at my core.
City Council will have a second reading of these ordinances at the next meeting, March 5th. I'm Sarah Stinson reporting in Concord, KRON 4 News.
8:07 is the time, and another developing story. The investigation is continuing into the heart-wrenching discovery of 4 people dead in a home in San Mateo, 2 children and 2 adults. They were found dead in the home Monday during a welfare check. Police gave an update on the case. Here's what we know at this point. Officers checked all the doors and windows. They said there was no sign to force entry. When they went in, they found the woman and the man who had been shot. They were in the bathroom. The gun was also in the bathroom. And then they found in the bedroom the 2 children, 2 boys. They were dead, but authorities have not said how they died.
The children did not have any gunshot wounds. There was no signs of a struggle throughout the house. And all of if there was any bruising or anything like that would come from the autopsy, and we don't have any information about that.
They also have not said what the relationship was of the 4 people, 2 adults and 2 children. We're waiting for the autopsy results for an ID.
Well, Fremont police now looking for potential victims of a man who they say sexually assaulted a woman Monday night. This is 27-year-old Marvin Velasquez of Fremont. Police say he attacked and sexually assaulted a woman who was walking in the area of Fremont Boulevard and Eggers Drive about 9 o'clock or so. Police say community members actually held him there until officers arrived on scene to arrest him.
It's 8:08, and on the peninsula, San Mateo County officials want the final say in their county over whether autonomous vehicles can be on the road. The County Board of Supervisors just passed a resolution supporting a proposed law that would put the control of driverless cars in the hands of local governments instead of state officials in the DMV. The county's resolution comes as Waymo just proposed a plan to expand its driverless fleet beyond San Francisco into the peninsula as far south as Sunnyvale. The Board of Supervisors says that Waymo's expansions that they're proposing are premature.
The state agencies are allowing unfettered access to our roads and highways without any community input.
We went to some pains to ensure that we provided correspondence to the CPUC. Just to make clear, again, we aren't taking a substantive position as the county council's or county attorney's office with respect to the bill. It's more a question of ensuring that the county has as much granularity and detail with respect to what's proposed and that the decision's made at the appropriate level in the appropriate place.
Last week, the San Mateo County attorney sent a protest letter to utility officials about Waymo's proposed expansion. The DMV, however, has already okayed those plans. And this comes as Waymo is recalling some of their software after two incidents that happened in Phoenix back in December, where a Waymo vehicle crashed into a pickup truck that was being towed. And then a few minutes after that, another Waymo car crashed into that same pickup truck. There were no passengers in the Waymo vehicles at the time of the crashes.
All right, 8:10 is the time, and we are learning that the A's will be meeting with Oakland and Alameda County officials to talk about extending the lease at the Coliseum. A source confirmed to KRON 4 that the meeting is scheduled for tomorrow. A's president Dave Cavell, Oakland Councilmember Rebecca Kaplan, and Oakland Chief of Staff Lee Hansen and Alameda County Supervisors David Hubert, they're all expected to attend. The A's need a place to play until their ballpark in Las Vegas is ready, which is expected to happen sometime in 2028. Their lease at the Coliseum, though, ends after this coming season. And we're also continuing to following the breaking news out at the Golden Gate Bridge, where you can see things have improved dramatically with traffic now flowing in both directions now. We're going to have an update from Raina Harvey in the traffic center as to what it was that caused traffic to come to a complete standstill just about 10 minutes ago.